Turns out Diddy has an angel, and after today's testimony, he might feel like he needs one. The angel is a guy named Eddie Garcia, and he was front and center today on the stand. Eddie Garcia was a supervisor of security at the Intercontinental Hotel here in Los Angeles. So yes, he was testifying all about the Cassie beating incident from 2016, and what was revealed today was exactly why this video of the beating went unnoticed, to the public at least, for 8 years. And it all has to do with $100,000 in a brown paper bag. He said that he came into work on March 5th, March 5th of 2016, and he was told, now he was not there when the actual incident happened. Remember, this was early in the morning on March 5th at about 11 a.m. So he says he got to work at 2 p.m. and was told there was a domestic incident. He did not know that it involved Diddy or Cassie at that point, but he was told that there was video. So he is there at work, and he says about 90 minutes into his shift, he gets a phone call from a woman named Christina Coram. And she explained to Eddie that she was Diddy's assistant. We've heard other people refer to her as sort of his chief of staff, the person, everything goes through Christina. And what Eddie testified was that she said, did he know anything about this incident, and that it was very important that Diddy get this video. She wanted the video because Diddy had been, quote, intoxicated and didn't remember what happened. So you have him testifying to basically what Christina Coram, he says, was already starting to lay out, that yes, there had been this violent incident, but he was just so intoxicated, he doesn't even remember what happened. So obviously that's, Eddie would start to feel like, the way he said it, it was almost like, don't think that he's a monster. This was just a guy who was intoxicated, and she clearly knows what happened on the video at that point, and I would imagine that she is concerned that Mr. Garcia has seen this and has already made a judgment on Diddy. So they're trying to sort of blunt all that, but she made it clear that they wanted to get a copy of this video, that Diddy wanted to see it. And Eddie says he told her, you're going to have to contact hotel management or get a subpoena. And he repeated that a couple of times to her, and she kept insisting that there's got to be some way to get this video. He says later that night he gets another call from a phone number that is a New York area code, and Christina is on the phone again, but this time she puts Diddy on with him. And Eddie Garcia then testifies about his conversation with Diddy, who he said was sort of encouraging him, saying, almost like a coach, like, come on, I know you can do this. I know you can get the video. I know you can do this for me. And he said, look, you sound like a nice guy. I can tell that you want to help. Come on, man, you can do this. So Garcia said he was concerned that that Diddy was making it clear to him, to Eddie Garcia, that he was very concerned this video would get out and that it would ruin his career. That's a quote, that it would ruin his career. That was Diddy's concern, and obviously we all seen the video, we know why he would feel that way. Eddie Garcia says that he told Diddy, look, I'm gonna have to talk to my manager. And he said that Diddy said to him, look, if you do this, I can take care of you. And Eddie Garcia says it was his understanding when Diddy said that it meant financially in some way. So Eddie tells Diddy, look, I'm gonna have to talk to my boss. Eddie was a supervisor. There was a head of security at the hotel, a guy named Bill Medrano. So Eddie testified that he went and spoke to Bill about this. He said, I had a conversation with Diddy, with his people. They want this video. They want a copy of the video, and then they want us to destroy the video. And Eddie testified that Bill said, okay, we can do that for $50,000. Well, Eddie goes back and delivers this news to Christina Coram, And Diddy gets on the phone and is thrilled about this news, and says, $50,000, we can do that. In fact, this is the quote. He said, Eddie says, Diddy replied, Eddie, my angel, I knew you could help. I knew you could do it. Eddie goes to his boss. His boss hands him a thumb drive, and he goes to deliver the thumb drive to Diddy. But he says this was in a high-rise building, and he goes in, and in the room, they have an agreement for him to sign, for Eddie to sign, and it basically says, this is an NDA, you can't talk about this, you are guaranteeing us that this is the only copy of this video that you're giving us, and if there's any breach of this, and we find out later that there's another copy, or that you've spoken about it, you're gonna owe us $1 million. He gives him the thumb drive. He sees Diddy take out $100,000, not Diddy, but he sees $100,000 come out of a brown paper bag, and then it goes into one of those money counters that we all see when you go to the bank, counts out $100,000. Now, Eddie says he kind of figured that since the agreed upon number was $50,000 that was going to go to his boss, Bill Medrano, he just figured the other $50,000 was for him. And he ends up keeping $30,000 for himself. He admits that he bought a car with that money, and another $20,000 he gave to another security officer who was on duty at the time.